Hey everybody, welcome to the tower. I hope you're having a good day, and if you're not and you're having a tower moment, you've come to the right place. If you're new to the channel, think about hitting the old subscribe button. It helps. I try to upload every day. If you're coming back, welcome back. I hope I can help you. What do I do here? Well, I draw two cards from the Major Arcana deck, just like this. Alright? Make it simple. And then we look at the bottom of the deck for more information, and then we clarify with this. 3, 2, and 3. Real simple, real easy. All of these messages are timeless, so whenever you're watching this is when the universe wanted you to see it. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be next week, I don't know. So hide from the future, or the past, or whatever you want to call it. And, there are no star signs. Everybody gets to play. Alright? So if this reading does not resonate with you at all, ever, and you give it a couple days and it still doesn't kick in, and you're just kind of like, what? It's okay to throw it away. Don't try to force a tarot reading to fit. It's not all going to fit, and it might not be for you, right? But if it is for you, or if it's for somebody you think you know, feel free to share it with them. All right, let's get started. On this side of the tower, we have the Death card. Now, the Death card is the energy of something that should have ended but didn't, especially on this side of the tower. It's the energy that you're in the rut. You're holding on to something that's a lost cause that you should have thrown away or walked away from or let go of a long time ago, but you didn't. And I don't know why you didn't. There's probably plenty of reasons, but this is kind of like hope that shouldn't exist anymore, and you just keep thinking that it'll get better tomorrow, and it never does. Tower. This is going to bring you to your tower moment, and that's going to, oh boy, bring you to the world card. So this tower moment is going to be the last straw. It's going to be the breaking point. I can't do this anymore. It's not worth it. It's going to be the thing that happens that lets you finally realize that this is not the way to go. All right, you're not going to be able to do this path, this mission, this whatever it is anymore, and you're out. You're done. You want to quit. So this leads to the Judgment and the Fool card. So yeah, you're going to make a choice to start something completely new. That's as basic as this gets. What is keeping you holding on to this thing that you don't want to, that feels like you, feels the hope is keeping you held on to this? Like, it'll get better tomorrow. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles, for sure. This is the energy of doing the same thing over and over and over again. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. And the 2 of Cups. Wow. This is... Is this a relationship that should have been ended a long time ago? Because the 2 of Cups usually represents a match. Like, yeah, you and me, we're going to get together. We're a match for each other. But these two energies up here is like, I've been putting everything I can into this thing every day, the best that I have, without cutting corners. I've done the work. I've shown up. I've stayed out of trouble. I've been the best version of myself, and it's not working. And the 7 of Pentacles is saying that you've invested a lot of money into this, a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy. So not only are you trying to be the best you can be for as long as you've been doing this, but it's not worth it. The other person isn't going to change. Are they? They are never going to change. No matter what you do, no matter how you try to change things up, no matter what ideas you come up with to save the relationship, it's over. You're holding on to something that's been dead for a long time. And you're thinking, well, maybe it'll get better tomorrow. No, you've done enough, friend, buddy, pal, whoever's watching this. You've done more than enough. It's kind of sad, actually, because I understand how that feels. You put all your energy and your money and your effort and your attention into something or someone, and they still throw you away like trash. I get it. But you're holding on to that hope that maybe they turn around. Maybe this is just a phase. Maybe it'll get better tomorrow. Three Cups over the Tower. It won't be. Knight of Wands under the Tower. Third party individual here, and I know you've known this the whole time. I get it. You've known there's other people influencing the person you're trying to keep into your life as your number one most important. But you know very much that they have a group of friends that you know nothing about. They're seeing people that you know you probably don't know exist. You feel it, but you don't know it for sure. They're out all night with people that you probably don't approve of. That's why this Three of Cups is over the Tower. And it's breaking your heart. You hate it. This person doesn't even bother to include you into any of this. They're going to concerts that they're like 100 miles away, or, spending nights at houses that with people you've never even seen before because they met them at work to save gas on the trip home, or something. They're making up these dumb excuses, and you're trying really hard not to lose your temper. You're trying really hard not to say all the obvious things, but you can't. You can only take the abuse for so long. And you have to say something, which is where the Knight of Wands comes in. Where you're going to say everything that's hurting you. You're going to lay it all out. And they're not going to care. They're going to be like, yeah, I never loved you to begin with. Or, something like that. And that's where your heart's going to break. They were using you until they found what they really wanted, which was probably, the party lifestyle, drugs, weed, whatever. There were just some lines you weren't willing to cross, and they found the people who were already on the other side of those lines, which made you seem kind of worthless, no matter what you did for this person. No matter how much affection or emotion or whatever you showed to them, it was never going to be enough. And they found other people that would give them this person that you were trying to keep impressed. But you never gave up hope, did you? You always kept thinking maybe someday it'll turn around. Never did. And that'll lead you to the end. World card. Two of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Five of Cups. Yeah, this makes sense. The end comes because you keep trying to, even at the end, you keep thinking, well, maybe if I did this, maybe if I did that. You're trying to, hold on to them as they're running away from you actively. You're like, please come back. And I know that sounds desperate or pathetic, but emotions are hard, right? You can't really just give everything to a person like this, and then when they leave, want to give it up so easily. So you're bargaining right now, right? You're like, please come back. What can I do to make it better? And they hate you. You're nothing to them. You don't live that party lifestyle like they want. You whatever they said to you to get together in the first place was a complete lie. They're not that person. They never were. But you had money, you had a place to live, you had resources, and they needed that at the time. So they will be what they wore the mask, and they were whatever they needed to be to get that stuff from you. And you had it in your head that that's who they really were as a person, but no, not true. Anyway, so you're going to go through this process. First, you're going to beg them to come back. You're going to plead them. You're going to say, hey, you were the brightest thing in my whole life. I I never thought a person like you would exist, this, that, and the other. You're going to say all the things that you thought that you think would help. None of it does. Then you go to the Three of Wands, and it's kind of an empty space, right? You're trying to make plans. You're thinking, well, maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that. And you're going to be talking to yourself a lot. You're going to go from really upset to mad to angry to heartbreakingly depressed to I can't even get out of bed. And then you're going to have to go through the process over and over again. There's no amount of energy that's going to make this make sense, what they did to you. Because you can't see what you did wrong, and you're trying to figure out what you did wrong. Okay? You're trying to figure out, hey, what did I do? It must have been my fault. I did something wrong. I did the bad thing. I did the nasty thing. I must have done something horrible here. What did I do? And you're going to burn your brain out trying to figure out what that horrible thing was. Then you're going to realize that, no. The worst thing that you probably did was not cross the line that they wanted to cross to begin with. You probably didn't want to buy them the illegal drugs. You probably didn't want to risk getting arrested. You probably, didn't do these things. And that's all they ever wanted. What you did wrong was you held fast to your integrity and morals. All right? And then the Five of Cups hits, and that's the regret card. Because you are going to regret every second you ever spent with him. And everything you ever lost and gave up. All the damage you did. They just walked away from you, and it was just a mess. They don't care about you at all, by the way. But that leads to the Judgment card. And as hard as it is to let this go, and you'll probably always think about it from time to time, from now until many years, but you're going to try to start something new. You're going to try to move forward from this. You're going to try to rebuild and focus on the things you have, the life that you still have, the good things you have, and you're going to just one step at a time start to heal from this. Just keep in mind that you didn't do anything wrong. Okay? You stuck to your guns, you stuck to your morals, you stuck to your principles. You didn't want to cross any lines, you didn't want to break any laws for this person. You were willing to do a lot. But you didn't want to cross certain lines, and that's what the deal breaker was for them. Okay? You probably spent thousands of dollars on this person. You probably bought them anything they needed to have a good life. That was your job. That was what you wanted to do, but it was never going to be enough. You did a good job not breaking that line. You didn't go past there, and you said no. Good for you. But this is going to be a tough process to go through. Stay strong. Eat the ice cream. Play the video games. Do the things you enjoy, and do your best to get your heart back, okay? This person wrecked you. At the bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. That is the only card I wanted to see in this deck, and I'm glad it showed up at the bottom, because that is the card of winning. Overcoming a great challenge. And this will be a great challenge. This is going to be difficult. After you realize that this person wanted nothing to do with you because they wanted things that you were not willing to give. And all those things were probably on the illegal side of the law, and you didn't want to risk getting arrested. You didn't want to risk going to jail. You didn't want to risk all that drama. You wanted to be safe. Right? And that's all they wanted. And they got it. And once they had it, they got rid of you. So stay strong, friend. This is worth walking away from. This tower moment is going to suck. It's going to hurt. But you need it to start something new. You need to heal. Just keep in mind it wasn't your fault. It was entirely on them. They just could not settle. They couldn't calm down. They needed more and more and more. They needed their drugs. They needed their whatever they were doing. And you weren't willing to give it. So you did good. You stuck to your morality. Good job. You can let this go finally. And I hope this reading helps you understand that maybe you should act sooner than let this tower hit. Just be like, you know what? I can't make you happy. I mean, you don't even seem like you want to be happy from the inside. No matter what happens, it's always there's negative slant to it. So maybe it's time for you to go. If you take the charge, if you take charge of this and you tell them to leave, they'll probably just leave without much resistance because they already have a place to go. They already have these people in their life. But if you do that, if you do it early, you might avoid all this stuff. All right? I'm going to show you the cards now because I've rambled on enough. Here we go. If you're still here at the end of this reading, which I don't know why anybody is, but if you're still here and I'm not talking to the void, please, once again, think about hitting the old subscribe button. Thank you for watching. You're awesome. You didn't deserve this. If this resonates with you, nobody does, but this happens a lot. And I'm just telling you, take charge now before you hit the tower because it's going to be a rough ride. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Bye.